Alrighty, so finally, as I said earlier today, that the trailer was likely gonna be releasing, and it actually did release just several hours ago. I wasn't really home when it released, but now it finally released, and we're gonna cover it. I'm gonna make several videos covering this topic because it's a pretty hype trailer, honestly, and there's a lot of things to cover about it. So without further ado, let's get started with this trailer. For now, I just want to give my thoughts. Then later on, I will give like a more in-depth, like explaining every single unit we see here, explaining both the animes that we're seeing here, and then also talk about the new era of Anime Vanguards as a whole. And yeah, without further ado, let's actually get started here. So first and foremost, I'm super excited to see Anime Vanguards actually getting a lot of hype that it deserves, in my opinion. So this one right here is obviously going to be Bleach 1000 Year Blood War, and obviously the units that we're going to be getting here are going to be related to that specific anime, so obviously that's actually pretty cool. Now okay, first, obviously the map that we're seeing right here is actually pretty beautiful. I really like this map. That's one of the things that I've always complimented Anime Vanguards in, is the beauty of the maps that they make. And then this one right here, the VFX, there's mainly really a few things that I compliment Anime Vanguards in. Number one is the maps, because the maps really are pretty good and pretty awesome looking. They're simple but also sophisticated, and also they are pretty well designed maps, right? And number two, I really also like how free to play and player friendly the Anime Vanguards developers are. They aren't stingy with rerolls like in other games. For example, you have tons of ways to farm rerolls in this game and be able to do what you would normally do as a free to play player, but it's actually pretty nice, and a lot of these things that pay to win players do, like getting monarchs, is also possible as a free to play player. You're just gonna have to spend more time, right? Like you can grind a lot of rerolls. Obviously, whale players can still get more monarchs than you, but it's pretty nice that they have this option where you can farm and you can be rewarded for it. I actually just really like that. Also, they have a communication, which is pretty cool. And then another thing that I really wanted to mention is the units and how they design them, how they make the passives work, how they make the passives better, how they make the passives work with other units, the abilities, and how they make these abilities work. All of these things make each and every single character in Anime Vanguards truly unique and useful in a way. So we had Aizen right there. This one right here, I believe, is Uryu. That has to be Uryu, right? Yeah, I'm pretty sure that is Uryu because he's color blue. I'm pretty sure that's him. I could be wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm not really that well versed in this anime anymore, so I'm not really very familiar with every single last character. So that's yeah. But this one right here is Yamamoto, I believe, the guy that got, I'm not gonna say it, but yeah, that guy. So there looks to be a lot of stuff with him, and obviously we see Yuhaba right here as well. I believe that's him. And oh yeah, this is probably gonna be what's gonna happen here. But yeah, obviously you can see Yuhaba right there. And then again, this is the second map. So there are two maps right here. So this is the first map right here, and then this is the second map. And then here you could also see the other units like Kenpachi. And apart from Kenpachi, you can also see right here Ichigo, right? You're gonna see right here Ichigo versus Yuhaba. I said earlier on in my previous video that they're probably going to make Ichigo versus Yuhaba a very big point in the next update, or a very big point in the trailer, and I'm pretty right. As you guys can see right here, Yuhaba and Ichigo, they're shown right here. That's actually pretty good. And then you got Yoruichi and a bunch of other units there, which is actually pretty nice. Okay, so again, let me just go back to what I said earlier on what I really like with Anime Vanguards. I really like how they design the units and how they work with each other, and I'm going to give you guys a pretty good example. For example, let's take a look at somebody like Ragna. Ragna is a unit that, if you can really understand how well he works, can do a ton of DPS. Then there's also units like Saber Alter, which if you combine Saber Black Tyrant with the units like Sakura, he actually does have a very high potential to do a lot of good things, right? So those three units are pretty good and they are pretty cool. Then you also have units like Gogeta, who is very unique in his own way. I mean, yeah, he is a unique hero in both rarity and also in his passives. He is a very unique hero and a very interesting one as well. You got Toji, who even though he isn't really that overpowered anymore in the current meta, has a very overpowered passive that's actually pretty useful. Then you got all these other units as well that are just actually really nice to play with. And the reason why people were hyped for the 1000-Year Blood War update is because they know that most of the characters in Bleach are very interesting characters that in and of themselves, they have their own unique abilities that can definitely be made into passives. Like, for example, in the Discord, we have a sneak peek for Aizen that's called Aura, like this one right here. And a lot of people are saying that there's a good percent chance that this is going to be an ability where anybody that steps into his range will die or take damage, kind of like how it was in the anime. That's a very big possibility. Then for Yuhaba, there's also a ton of awesome uniques that they can do for Yuhaba, because Yuhaba has a very awesome ability in the anime. Then for Kenpachi, yeah, there's a slow ability right there, so you guys can see. And also for Ichigo in his Horn of Salvation form, there's a ton of cool things that they can do with him. There's a ton of unique stuff that they can really do with his character. Again, for Yuhaba, there's also a ton of unique stuff that they can do with his character as well. Yoruichi is, Yoruichi is just Yoruichi. She's pretty cool, right? So Yoruichi is very cool as a character. We have Orihime here as well. Okay, Orihime might actually be a buff unit. So if you can see right here with Orihime, she has this green above her. So what does that mean? Does that mean she's kind of like a buff unit or a money unit? I don't really know. But yeah, most of these characters, I can bet you, are going to be unique in their own way. Okay, and here is where it gets even crazier. And this is the one that I am really hyped for. I'm not going to play the song right here, but this really brings a tear to my eyes. I'm about to cry right now. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm shedding tears right now. Okay, I'm shedding tears right now because what we're about to get, my friends. You see that? You see that right there? Okay, this is one of the most peak anime we've ever seen from a game, right? So this is one of the most peak anime we've ever seen from a game, and this is Cyberpunk Edge Runners. And that right there is David. And that right there is Lucy. So if you have not yet watched or finished that anime, I suggest you do it right now, because this is crazy, right? I've played Cyberpunk a ton of times. Obviously, I've watched this anime only once. I only got to watch it once. I just cannot bring myself to watch it a second time. I actually might, because it's just that good. It's one of those animes that will break you, and even though it already broke you, you're still gonna come back for seconds because it's such an amazing anime. But all I gotta say is this anime is very amazing, and this is a very awesome character. And yeah, this is the new generation of Anime Vanguards characters, getting anime characters from games. So there's a chance that characters from animes, for example, for games that were transferred into animes, can get put into Anime Vanguards. Like, for example, this is originally from a game, and they got an anime adaptation, and then they're added into Anime Vanguards. There's a lot of other games that did that. Assassin's Creed has that as well. There's a ton of other games with that as well, and this is essentially the new generation of that. So again, even Lucy and David, I'm pretty sure will have a unique way of working with each other. I only hope that they're not a tournament unit. That would be really bad. But again, everything so far looks amazing with this update, and I'm super excited for it. We're going to talk about each and every single last one unit in the next video. We're going to talk about how many units there are. We're also going to talk about all the other stuff that we can talk about. So without further ado, I'll see you guys in my other videos. That's it. Peace out.